Welcome.
How is all the folks?
Good. All right. Just to let people know, we are going to be streaming this to our Twitch channel in the hopes of getting viewers because we're like one person away from being able to see about affiliate status. So,
No problem.
other than that, I don't know, Jeff. Do you know Tony? Do you know Trevor?
Yeah, I think we did some Star Trek back in the day at your place.
No, different Trevor.
All right, then no.
All right. Trevor is Tony's brother and an old time gamer friend of Anita's and theirs, and more recently mine.
Very cool. Yeah, pleased to meet you, Trevor.
And Zach will perhaps be along. He's not feeling well, so he may be in and out.
Sad. Poor Zach.
Alrighty, so the easiest way to do things is some of you have experience with 2D20 systems, so it's very similar for those that don't. As we go along, I'll explain what to roll, how to roll, when to roll. On your journal tab in Foundry, the one that looks like an open book, there should be 2 journal entries, one for actions and one for momentum spends in combat.
Yep.
Hmm.
So when you open a character sheet, the first tab, the character, basic stuff, what languages you speak, a little bit of your background, how many fortune points you have, your experience, your renown, your standing. The second tab is actions, and if you click on any of those, it will tell you what that action does. And if you click on an attack, for example, it'll tell you what the attack is, the basic information, what qualities it has, and then there's an attack button and a damage button. Your skills. This is a list of all of your skills. And beside each skill, there's like a little kind of die icon that will roll the skill for you. Belongings is the stuff you have. Sorcery would be if you actually go down the sorcery path, or as an alchemist, if you make any petty enchantments, they'll be listed here. And the last one, the talents. If you click on any of the talents, it'll bring up a write-up as to what that talent does.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
I copied those charts over to the Discord if you want to put them across.
Oh, perfect. When it comes to taking damage, you have 2 damage tracks. You have Vigor, which is your physical damage, and Resolve, which is your mental damage. If you take if you take the 5th trauma in any of those 2 types, you will be out of commission, either dead or insane or socially ruined or whatever. The way traumas work is if you take 5 points of damage or more in a single hit, or if your track hits 0, or if you take any damage while your track is at 0. And those are cumulative. So if you've got like 4 vigor left and you get hit for 5, you're going to take a wound because you took more than 5, and you're going to take a wound because your track hit 0. If you get hit in a location that has armor and take a wound, You can sacrifice that armor to absorb the wound. You'll still take whatever damage, but you don't take the wound.
That's nice.
On a related note, I think there's a chart we might need for fortune spends as well.
I don't know if there's a chart for fortune spends.
Well, I know one of the ones that I like to use is to get back half your hit points.
Yes. Just one second, we'll find fortune. It's not a chart, it's a write-up, but I'll post it here.
Oh, okay.
So everybody starts with 3 fortune points. You regain fortune points by either doing something cool and awesome. You can choose to voluntarily fail a roll if there are actual stakes involved. Or each character has a personality trait, so you might be curious, or you might be wrathful, or you might be disciplined. But if you can tell me how that causes your current situation to get worse, you can get a fortune point. So you can spend a fortune point to add a d20 to any test. And it is automatically set to a 1 and generates successes just as if it was part of the normal skill test. You can spend a fortune point to do an additional action at no increase in difficulty. You can catch a second wind, so you can spend a fortune point to bring all of your stress in one of the 2 categories back. You can spend a...
Oh, Trevor's having trouble with the browser, or with the Foundry.
What browsers are you using, Trevor?
I tried Safari and Chrome. Yeah, it won't let me click on join game unless I give them the access key.
You shouldn't need an access key.
Did you pick your name?
Worst comes to worst, you just have to trust me on my dice roll, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I'm using Chrome. It works fine.
Yeah, Foundry is optimized for Chrome, so it works best on Chrome, but if it's not working for you, then... I don't know.
Well, let me try again on Chrome.
Try the link that I gave you on Facebook. Because the one that Don posted, it wouldn't let me in either. Said I wasn't invited or something.
Yeah, don't wait for me, guys. Just keep going.
I'm also having issues since this game is private and you're not invited to it.
Okay, sec here. I'll grab a... Okay. Try the link I just posted to Discord there.
I'm in.
Perfect.
Hooray!
Yeah, there's a difference. There's an invite link and then there's a game link, and you have to use the invite link first to get access to the game.
Yay, technology.
Yay, technology. Alrighty,
Something like that.
something like that. All right. So you guys are, for a variety of reasons, on board a ship called the Ebony Rose, sailing out of Missantia in Argos. Some of you may be part of the crew, some of you may be passengers, some of you may have needed to get out of Argos in a bit of a hurry. The actual reasons as to why you're on board the ship are completely up to you, so you guys can discuss amongst yourselves.
Well, I was in the Bosnian marches between Aquilonia and Numidia, and I saved. I was a apprentice blacksmith, and I saved a lord's son, and he paid for my education in Aquilonia and Numidia. I'm a very educated man. I've learned craftsmanship. I'm a master. I can do I can craft a lot of things, but I'm a master in nothing. I'm not a master blacksmith. I'm not a master carpenter, but I can blacksmith and I can carpenter. Unfortunately, while I was gone, my family fell in disrepute, and I came back to visit the family, and they were all sold to slave pits. And when I came back, because there's no goddamn email in Hyperborea, I had no idea what I was walking into, and I was thrown in the slave pits too. But because I slaved this lord's son, the lord's son made sure I could escape, and now I'm on a pirate ship because I'm again jack of all trades, and I can do a lot of things, and that's basically why I'm here. Because I can't go back to the Bosnian marches, but who would want to go there anyway, right?
That's it. All right, so just so everybody's aware, the Ebony Rose is not a pirate ship yet. It is a merchant vessel.
Well, fine. I'm a carpenter and a blacksmith, and I can fix stuff. So that's why I'm on a ship that's not in the Bosnian marches.
Perfect. All right. So yes, the Ebony Rose departed from a private estate in Argos with a very small crew, headed for Shem. One of the merchant lords in Messantia is sending his daughter off to meet her intended husband for the first time, who's a Shemite prince. And part of her dowry, or part of the ship's cargo, is her dowry. So as a result, if you guys want to have been hired to protect the dowry, to protect her, anything of that nature, that is definitely an option. You guys are, at this point, probably about 4 or 5 days out of Argos on the open sea. What are the rest of you doing on board this ship?
Claudius would have been looking for probably a way out of town. So whether he got hired on as a sailor or a bodyguard, either one of those would have been fine for him.
Just as long as it's heading out of Argos.
Yep.
Yeah, I imagine that Claudius and Caro, got into a little bit of trouble, maybe a bit of a bar fight, or someone tried to screw us over, and things got messy. And we're
time to head out to sea for a while, wait for everything to die down.
That's right. We're both veteran sailors. We're used to being on the water. We're happier on the water, or at least Caro is. So we could probably get hired on just about any vessel without too much effort. So yeah, we're just getting out of Dodge for a bit. Things will calm down. It's fine.
I helped her over a jam, I guess, but I used a bit too much force.
And what is Rory and Ragnar doing on board the Ebony Rose?
Well, Ragnar's currently trying not to be seen amongst some of the cargo.
Oh, stowaway. Nice.
A stowaway.
As far
Them's
as he's
good eating.
concerned, he's been through some rough times the past few months, and just needs to lie low.
Has anybody seen that large blonde man hiding among the crates? Oh, him. Pay him no mind. He thinks he's hiding.
Rory is the chef. Mwahahaha. It's my galley. You can stay out of it.
So yeah, so you guys have been at sea now for 4 or 5 days. Open water, not a speck of land in sight. Normally a lot of ships kind of keep close to the coast as they go from Argos to Shem, but due to the fact that members of the Red Brotherhood and other pirate gangs have been highly active in the area, going a little bit further out to sea helps you to avoid some of that problem. The Ebony Rose itself is it's not a terribly large ship. It's basically it's like a small merchant ship. It's about 65 or so feet long. It's about 20 feet wide. Has counting you guys, 18 people. It does have a couple of longboats just in case. There's a single deck that covers the main hold. And then down below there are the captain's quarters and a mess area. Most of the crew, including you guys, sleep on hammocks that are slung throughout the hold area. They do have a canvas partition set up, kind of like those wall dividers in a office cubicle farm, so that there is a slight degree of privacy for the ship's officers and other passengers. And the ship does have it's got a second hold underneath the main hold. Access from the main deck to the hold, there's 2 large wooden grates. You can see there's the main grate here for loading and unloading cargo, and then there's like the trap door that leads down into the hold area.
These accommodations seem to be quite nice.
The grate is made of very thick, very hard wood. Cannot be easily broken or cut. Basically, it's designed. It's a merchant ship. It does have some fairly fancy fittings, indicating that the owner of this ship, Amarius, is a successful merchant. Like, this isn't some like rinky-dink little boat.
Amarius is the captain.
Amarius is the owner.
Who's the captain?
Getting close.
The captain's name is Balka Zahar, and he's a good captain. Like, he's stern but not cruel. He treats his men with a measure of respect. He's the sort of captain that doesn't ask his crew to do anything that he wouldn't do or couldn't do. So there's a good degree of respect from the men to the captain and vice versa.
So would Caro think this captain is competent as a captain himself?
Yes.
Okay.
He's certainly, like, he's not, the sort of like legendary captain whose names are, whispered in ports all over. He's more subdued than that, but he's competent at his job.
All right.
Well, that's good enough for me.
So amongst the crew, there is also the bride-to-be, Amarania, and her handmaiden, I guess, named Katrina. The two of them largely keep to themselves. I mean, they take meals in the hold with everybody, but they're not, hanging out on the upper deck watching the whales and the fish or anything of that nature. They understand that they are just passengers, and that if they were to be on the deck, they might simply just be in the way.
Well, Claudius, this isn't the fanciest ship we've ever sailed on, but she'll get us out of Argos.
It's not the worst by far.
Certainly not the worst, but the captain here seems to be competent enough.
Shame about that cook, though.
Ah, 100 back, wait, bastard!
A little overzealous about his galley, I think, but that's all right. I mean, everyone needs their own little square foot or so on a ship like this.
So after like 4 or 5 days of travel, your ship is slightly becalmed. Everything is peaceful, serene almost. But then, roughly shortly before dawn, as you guys are all sleeping in your hammocks down below, along with several of the other crew members, you are awakened by shouts from the deck above. It sounds like you hear like feet running across the deck and shouts of, "To arms, pirates, boarders!"
Well, I guess we get to earn our pay after all.
I suppose so.
What does Caro think of this particular crew? Are they combat capable, or?
They're sailors. They are not soldiers. They're not marines. They're not pirates. They're sailors.
That includes me, by the way.
So, as a former Marine that turned pirate, we're in trouble.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I'd say things are about to get interesting.
You got yourself a new commission.
All right. So who else making their way up deck? Is anybody staying below deck?
No, I'll come up too.
Yep,
Oh,
sounds
definitely
good.
coming up. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have a look. See.
It's one thing I've learned in life is never wake a redhead up early.
Amen.
Ragnar will stay below until he hears more.
So you guys make your way up onto the deck, and you see not terribly far off a much larger ship looming out of the darkness, aiming directly for you. And I will get somebody to give me an observation check.
I've got pretty good observation.
I think I do too, but I can't figure out how to bring up my character sheet here.
If you just hit C, it should bring up your character sheet.
All right, yeah, I remember.
So as you guys make your way to the deck, and you can see the sailors, they're not trained Marines, but they do have the rudiments of, getting ready to repel boarders and all that sort of thing. So Clytius and Tebian, you both look up and you notice that on this ship that is looming towards you, you see several crossbowmen that are basically secured by harnesses to the upper masts of the ship. You both also see a bunch of other men kind of lining the rail of this incoming ship, probably preparing to cast hooks. But what kind of strikes you is they're not making any attempt to induce fear. They're not yelling. They're not gesturing. They're not, they're not trying to be brazen.
They fly a flag?
They are flying a flag.
Stygia?
No. It is not of any known country or port. It is probably an independent pirate flag.
Would Caro recognize it, or Claudius?
Yes, you can give me a lore check.
More.
Lures for knowing stuff.
I don't know nothing.
I'm very good at that.
So Kara, you think about it for a second, and then you recognize that that ship is a fairly infamous vessel called the Devil's Shadow.
What do I know about this thing?
The Devil's Shadow is definitely a pirate vessel run under the captain Herge Demos. But they're pirates. They will generally, they'll board a ship. They'll take the stuff. They usually offer a crew an opportunity to join up, basically like join up or die sort of thing. The pirates themselves, the crew of the Devil's Shadow, are they're no great shakes. But you've heard of Herge Demos, where your captain tends to be low key. His name isn't whispered in taverns. You've heard the name of Captain Demos a few times in some fairly disreputable places.
Captain,
Yes?
I think we must be making haste out of here if we can.
Yes, definitely. And he gives the orders, and the crew start basically trimming the sails. He starts spinning the wheel. As he does so, crossbow bolts ring out from the other ship, striking several of your crew members. The captain himself takes like one in the shoulder, kind of like grits his teeth, and then he just basically pushes it through the wound and out the backside. Indicating he's perhaps a little bit tougher than you thought. And as he does so, and as the first volley of crossbow bolts come across, you see the captain of the other ship step up onto his deck, and he's got a couple of his men near him with wooden shields to protect him from any return fire that may come his way. And he just kind of yells out, it's like, Ebony Rose, prepare to be boarded. Stand down and your men will be treated honorably. And then beside Captain Demos, this other figure steps up and starts calling out in a language I don't think any of you speak. I don't know if any of you speak Shemitish or not.
Nope.
Nope, not me.
So he starts shouting out in this language you don't understand, and in the moonlit glare you can see him kind of like waving his hands around, and the area around you begins to glow with this kind of like swirling greenish fog, all of which scares the absolute shit out of your crew. As they have this dim awareness that something sorcerous is happening.
Oh, crap.
And as he does at the same time, Deimos goes like, "Are you going to surrender, or are we going to take it by force?"
Well, Captain, that's your call, I say.
He kind of looks. He looks at his men. He looks over the ship's like, like, I've got my men's lives to think of. And he shouts out, he's like, "Very well. and you can see like the sailors around you are just like they are like, some of them are crying, some of them are debating jumping overboard. Like they are not used to sorceress powers.
Yeah, neither are we.
So the Devil Shadow basically pulls alongside. Boards, slams the boards down, and the boards have almost like spikes on them. So when they slam the boards down, they hook into the railing of the other ship, making them very difficult to dislodge. Especially with like sailors pouring over, and as the men from the Devil Shadow start to pull over, you estimate that there's probably, you guys are probably outnumbered 3 or 4 to 1.
Well, everybody needs a carpenter, so I ain't picking a fight.
Hey, Chris,
Yep.
where are the long ships?
The longships are located along the side of the ship.
Yeah,
Well-
the map's black at the moment.
I think it's time to take a ship for a ride.
Give me 1 sec here.
I think it's time to say yar, matey.
All right. So he sends some of his men out to basically, he's like, secure the hold, bring up what's there. What would you guys like to do?
So I imagine this is probably when they find Ragnar.
Yes.
I like to think of Ragnar as being a relatively big and bulky guy. Ragnar, the entire be like making it very clear that it will take more than one person just to secure him. Like he's not fighting back, but like if one person like goes to like grab a hold of him or like push at him, it's like, nope, you're gonna need more than one.
So they do. I mean, he puts up a bit of a fight, but eventually they get like 4 or 5 guys on Ragnar.
And at that point, he just has a grin on his face.
There are much more pirates than there are on the map here, but just so you guys have an idea.
Alright, you bloody bastards. Let me go get my good spices from the galley, for God's sakes.
You gotta like a professional.
I assume there's an etiquette to this sort of thing, right? Like pirates do things in a particular way.
Yes, generally speaking, the crew is given an opportunity to join or die. Anybody of any sort of social standing may be taken for ransom. Generally speaking, that's how things go.
I'm thinking my toolbox is probably my passage to not being drowned in the ocean. So I'm holding on to my carpentry and black mason kit as much as possible. Just trying to look competent and not committed to the current crew.
Yeah, I make sure to get all my alchemical stuff out of the galley.
So you grab up like your various tinctures and potions and spices and minerals and other such accoutrements. You grab your carpentry tools, and as you do, the men have found the passengers Emarina and Katrina, and have brought them up on deck. And she's putting up a significant struggle.
Sorry about her damn luck.
And as the As Deimos basically comes across, see Captain Zuhar basically stands in front of him. It's like, just let my men live, Deimos, and you know, the men are, you know, as the sorcerer's energies are still there, the men have largely like fallen to their knees almost in awe. And the pirates basically bring Emarina kind of kicking and screaming. He like pushes her down at the feet of Deimos. And Deimos kind of cups her chin as he kind of gets her up to her feet. It's like, you're not quite what I was told to expect. She like hauls off. She goes to like slap him, but he like catches her hand. He like passes her some of the men. They bring her over to the ship. They bring over like her dowry, you know, what jewels, what gold and stuff they found. And you know, just the guy that spoke the language, the guy that's apparently the sorcerer, whispers something to Deimos. Deimos kind of looks over the crew. It's like, traditionally we offer spots on board our ship, but I'm afraid we're full at the moment. So we won't be accepting any new recruits this time. And then he kind of motions for his men. He's like, secure them in the hold until we're gone.
The like pretty much the entire time he's talking, like Ragnar's not being like directly like hostile to those who are holding him, but it's like he might just be like, "Hey, do you know how to swim?" Or like if someone goes to like hold, like I don't know if he was bound or anything, but if like they go to like grab his binding, he might like give him like a little like shove back.
Yeah. No, nobody is bound or anything. They haven't tied anybody up or anything.
Pretty much, he's making like his size and like his like just his presence like very much like yeah, you may have us outnumbered, but I outsize every single one of you.
Oh, Blondie, settle down, will you? Oh, for Christ's sakes, listen. We're just going to be going into the hold for a bit, hopefully. And then hopefully we'll all walk out of this alive.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just having a little bit of fun. And when he says fun, he looks right at Deimos.
We'll have fun on shore.
Hi, Larry. Save your fun for later when it may not endanger the rest of us.
And as the men are ushering you into the hold, the sorcerer kind of calls out, "You, Jakol, I believe you have something of mine." And he walks up and he snatches this trinket from around the sailor's neck. Kind of puts it in his pocket. It's like, "Thank you for your assistance in letting us find this ship." And then he basically just dismisses him back into the group.
Sucks to be that guy.
He specifically says it loud enough so everybody hears.
It's a long swim home for him.
All right. We're not going to be any trouble. Davos, you have a reputation as being an upright and honorable man, such as you are. Just go along your business. We'll make our way with this puny little ship of ours.
He literally burns orphanages.
So as you guys are ushered down at the hold, The only light in the hold is a little bit of moonlight that is coming down from the grate, and that strange kind of greenish fog flame light that's kind of encircling the area. As soon as like the cover to the hold is slammed shut, like I said, it's dark down here, but you can see a kerfuffle and you can hear a beating happening as the sailors are like, what did you do, Jacol? What did you tell them? Thump, thump, thump. Somebody's definitely getting a comeuppance of sorts. And Jacol's just like, I met and at the port, he told me it was a good luck charm. They're like, we don't believe you. Beat, beat, beat. Kick, kick, kick. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
All right, that's enough. There's no sense killing the man. We only have so many men to choose from here.
Besides, it's not like this lad knows anything about the ways of the sorcerers. So, leave him be.
As you guys are put into the hold, they will secure your weapons and all of that sort of thing. They will leave them on the upper deck.
All right, no one's going to cause any trouble here.
So you can, you can hear the footsteps up above. And you can tell that, a number of them have retreated. And you hear kind of over the movement about, sounds like Deimos and the sorcerer conferring relatively near the grate. Deimos is like, we should have offered them places on the crew. That's how things are done. Or at the very least, we should have taken them ransom back to Argos. And the sorcerer's like, no, their lives are already spoken for. My lord demands payment for the aid he renders. Leave them where they are, and I will see to them.
That doesn't sound good.
Someone get these doors open.
Look, got a funny feeling we might be a bit of a sacrifice.
As you guys are listening to this, there's like some seawater being splashed around, and somebody can give me a sorcery check.
Well, that ain't me.
Sorcery check. I don't think I have that.
I don't have it, but I have a fair bit of willpower. Does anybody have sorcery?
What would it fall on?
I got alchemy. I got lore.
Sorcery is willpower, I believe.
I'm sitting on a 10.
So I'd have an 11 natively.
It's all yours.
And there is
Willpower, you said?
Yeah, it does fall under willpower.
Alright then, I'll give it a roll. Just pick the dice on willpower, right?
Yep. Actually, click by sorcery. I don't think it rolls skills by itself.
Can someone assist on this?
If you guys kind of put your heads together, somebody can roll an extra d20. In which case, just do the /r space 1d20.
Yeah, it's a success.
Okay, what am I actually looking to roll here?
So on your character sheet, under skills, down near the bottom should be sorcery.
It stops at discipline.
Yeah, I don't see past personality skills.
Yeah, just stretch your sheet out. Little thing in the bottom right corner.
And you should be able to scroll down the bar too.
Okay, I think I see it.
So our situation is the captain surrendered, and we've been taken prisoner to be.
Sacrificed by Dark Sorcerer's Arts, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, locked in the hold.
This is really weird. I can't really get it to get down there.
Can you make your window bigger with the little angled arrows?
Yeah, but it's got a finite limit.
You should be able to scroll up and down the skill page.
Let's figure the sorcery one's maybe the last thing on the very bottom.
It is.
Oh, okay, I can get at it.
And
Okay.
should be a die there, yeah.
Yeah, difficulty, you just do momentum, spend fortune, just roll the skill.
Yep.
Well, that sucked.
So you understand that that the person on board is a sorcerer, and Seawater probably means that sorcery is afoot. But you're not entirely sure what sort. You're not overly skilled in sorcery, but it's definitely not alchemy at work. At which time his voice kind of rises again. That language that seems to be somehow keyed into his sorceress workings. And then you see this very faint greenish glow around the grate and the trapdoor that lead into the hold.
Well, while he's doing his spell there, is there anything we can do?
What would you like to try to do?
Well, I've got this knife I could throw at him.
They took everybody's weapons when they put them in the hold.
Did they?
You can try.
My knife might have been hidden.
Knives do have hidden as a thing.
Oof.
All right, you're in luck. He did not find your knife.
Right then.
So it would be a ranged weapon attack.
And we don't have any momentum yet, or do we?
You have one.
Alright, I'll spend one, because this might be important.
I don't even know this guy.
What's the difficulty? Or do we just leave it at 1?
Difficulty is 3.
3? Ooh.
Yep. One base, one for range, one for lighting.
If I want to spend a fortune, do I spend it now?
Yep.
I'll do that.
Okay.
You've chosen to spend a fortune points on the roll. Would you like to roll your remaining dice? Yes.
Yes, because 2 successes is not going to do it.
Ooh.
Alrighty. So yeah, so you grab your knife and you kind of like judge the distance, and it goes like just shy, misses him by that much. But he does look down, and he kind of like waves his hand like he's sealing whatever sorcerous thing he's doing. And then he's like, "Get the oil, burn the ship." And he moves away from the grating.
All right. Is there another way out?
There's the trapdoor that leads up, and there's the grate that leads up, and there are stairs that lead down into the lower hold.
Big guy. You with the blonde hair, you want to get this grate open?
Yes, the screen is black on the new map because there is no light.
Oh, you fixed it. It's all better already.
Yeah.
Carol's going to direct Ragnar to break that grate open.
Okay.
Whichever one's easiest.
All right. So Ragnar climbs up on some crates and puts his like shoulder and his back to it, and it doesn't budge even a single iota of an inch. But he does have a very good view of the pirates spreading oil everywhere and tossing a torch.
Oh, lovely.
Well, shite.
Oh, time to go down.
Yeah.
We can't go up. We got to go down.
So as you start to hear the crackle of flames and the smell of burning wood and stuff, the other sailors that are down with you are like, "What the hell do we do?" And you guys are heading down into the lower hold.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way down to the lower hold, and it is pitch black down here.
Not for long.
And somebody can give me a difficulty 2 observation check.
Trev, you're good at that. You got a reroll, don't you?
I might, but still having problems with the interface here. So
I'll give it a go.
all right, I'm back in. You want observation check?
Yes, please.
My base is 12. Average D1. Anything else I should add to that?
Difficulty is 2.
Ooh.
I can re-roll the 20.
Yeah, I don't think I did very well.
All right.
There we go. That's 2.
Yeah. So you guys make your way down into the lower hold, and this is largely where the food stores are kept and things of that nature. And Tibian, in the brief little bit of moonlight that is coming down the stairwell, you see what looks like an axe handle. Probably you or one of the sailors apparently did not put all of their tools away when they were finished, and there is an axe down here in the lower hold.
Right, let's get to chopping.
So what do we think is easier, going up through the hatch with the axe or through the side of the ship itself?
Judging from when Ragnar tried to push open the hatch, whatever sorcery that the sorcerer did seemed to seal the hatches.
Fire burns up.
All right, give that axe to the big guy. Let's make ourselves a hole. We got to get out of this ship. Here we get one of the longboats.
So you guys begin chopping, and it takes some time. I mean, it's a ship hull and a hand axe, but probably within 10-15 minutes or so, you do start to some water starts to seep in, and then before much longer after that, you have a definite hole. I do need everybody to give me a resistance check.
Ooh.
Fuck me.
Where do I find that, Chris?
It's a skill under brawn.
Ah, okay, there it is.
Excellent. I don't know.
Are we trying to roll low or high?
It's low.
Low.
Ah, shit.
So I have 2 successes, and we generated a momentum.
All right. So those of you who did not get at least one success.
So a 20 and a 7, that gave me 1 success, right?
Yep.
And a complication.
So everybody takes 1 point of vigor damage, just as the heat and the smoke is starting to get to you. Caro, was it Caro who rolled the complication?
Yeah, I got 27.
All right. So you start coughing. Your eyes are stinging. You're going to be +1 difficulty on any physical challenge for the next little bit.
Yep.
But between Ragnar and Clytus, you do manage to get a hole in the side of the ship large enough for people to squeeze out. Water is coming in, like you're a little bit above the actual water line, just because of the way ships are built, and you weren't carrying a lot of cargo to sink you. But there is water seeping in. But it is wide enough that you can get yourselves out.
Well, I'm over that.
Yay.
Toss a barrel at first.
Yeah, there's like some water barrels down here, some barrels with food storage in them, things like that.
Sure.
My character's pretty fat, so he might need a little bit of a push getting through the hole. Or a pull on the other side, at least.
A little bit of a Winnie the Pooh moment there.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Well, the barrel might widen the hole, too.
True. So yeah.
I just want to know if anybody's paying attention enough to shoot at us. So, barrel's my test dummy.
Gotcha. There are no crossbow bolts fired at the barrel, no.
Right.
Can
Safe
we
enough.
see that other ship?
As you kind of look out, you can see it sailing away, yes.
And the rest of the crew here, are they in like total panic mode, or what's going on?
They are very much in total panic mode. They were like, put the hold, and then sorcery happened, then fire happened, and then the people who seemed motivated to do things left them in the dark. They are in total shit their pants panic mode.
Chris, you're awful hard on the innocent bystanders.
That's what they're for.
First time you've been shipwrecked, huh?
Yeah,
Probably
well, I like
innocent.
having people around, so I'm going to give you a doom, Chris,
Okay.
and use my talent, heed my words. And Caro's gonna start directing what people should be doing. So the goal right now is for everyone to go after the longships,
Okay.
the escape craft. So he's giving direction to everybody. He's using his force of presence to take command of this particular situation, and we're going to get those boats off, and we're going to save as many people as we can, and then we're going to find a way to go kill that motherfucker.
Yeah. So you're basically directing them like out, down into the hold, out through the hole, and then.
Out through the hole, up the side, get the long ships.
Okay.
Right, we don't want to float on barrels. We want to float on boats.
Aye, aye, Captain.
True story.
So make a command roll.
All right, and we have one momentum.
You do.
I think I'll spend that, guys.
Got to spend money to make money.
So I just put one.
Yep. When the momentum thing in. So you start directing them. They seem to take comfort in the fact that somebody is actually telling them what to do. By the time you get the last of the crew out, some of them are starting to climb up onto the ship. Those of you that would like to climb up onto the ship, it is an athletics check.
Yes, please.
This is our own ship, right?
Yes.
The flaming ship.
The ship that is on fire, the Devil's Shadow, in the rising dawn, you can see it sailing away at a fair clip.
I can't
what
climb
is the-
shit.
What is the difficulty?
The difficulty to climb the ship is 2.
Is it reduced due to sea-related tasks
No.
for athletics? Okay.
There you go.
See, this game likes me.
That's one hell of a cook.
All right. So I think Zach is AFK, I believe. Conveniently, I have a character sheet.
Hey, Chris,
Yes.
is the 1 2 successes?
Yeah, so 1 counts as 2 successes.
All right, so then how come it has successes at 2, not at 3?
If you don't actually have this skill, then the 1 does not count as a critical success.
Is it your focus or your expertise you have to roll under?
Your focus.
Oh yeah, okay, the focus. You're right. I know.
All right. So Rory makes it to the top easily.
He's a young Scotsman. He'll make it.
Ragnar and Clytius and Kara will make it up later. Basically, you got partial successes, so it's just going to take you longer to get up on deck. Tibian, however, needs to give me another athletics test to tread water.
Yay!
Fat man can float.
All right.
I am quite tubby.
So you try to climb up, you fall back down, you manage to get your head above water, and you manage to hold yourself there, but you do not think that you have it in your wherewithal to actually scale, a ship over the railing. So you're basically just going to try to probably tread water until the longboat gets dropped.
Frankly, that's probably what would happen if I was in the same situation in real life.
All right. But yes, as everybody pulls themselves up, Rory, you get up there first with the sailors. The sailors are, they're following Carol's commands. They're moving to the longboats. There's 2 longboats. One of them is on fire, and the other one looks like it's been banged up somewhat. Which one would you like to try to maneuver?
How badly on fire?
It's on fire, but I mean, you're going to be dropping it into water, so it looks like it's basically the top part of the longboat. It's like maybe some oil spilled on it or something, so it's burning from the top down as opposed to the bottom up.
Hello.
Hello.
We could probably do them both.
Yeah, there are enough men there because they're following Carol's commands that you can get both of the boats into the water. By the time you and the crew manage to basically swing the ships, because they're part of they have like that crane mechanism for them. Part of that is damage from the fire, so it takes more brute force than it normally would. But between you and the crew, you do manage to swing the boats over, drop them into the water. People can.
I'll instruct them to throw our gear in there too.
Okay. They will be able to get some of your gear, not all of your gear.
Some is better than nothing.
Yeah. Make a. Everybody can give me a.
You guys had gear?
Everybody can give me a difficulty 0 observation check.
The only game I roll good in is this one.
Good is subjective.
Observation, you say?
Yep. I totally forgot that I'd made a playlist for this. If anybody finds the music too loud or distracting, you can turn it off with the little note symbol on Foundry.
I just turned it down.
Mine remained the same. That was great. Fuck me running.
Man, do I love this game.
All right.
Right?
Basically, it's difficulty 0, which means you don't need any successes to. So everybody can basically grab one piece of their gear. And then because of Rory, Ragnar, and Caro, you guys have 5 momentum, bringing you to a total of 6. Every point of momentum somebody spends allows you to grab another piece of your gear.
Sorry, repeat that?
Alright. So you guys have 6 momentum. Everybody can grab one piece of gear because it was difficulty 0. To go like, hey, grab that. So everybody grabs one piece of their gear, and then every point of momentum spent allows you to grab another piece of gear.
I would assume that based on the fact that they only took weapons, I'm only down my scimitar. I should have everything else.
Yep, I mean, some of your stuff is obviously too big. Like, you cannot bring, like, your alchemy lab. You can grab like your field lab, for example.
Can I grab my sea chest?
Yes, and yes, Ragnar, they would have taken your shield, your armor, and your weapons. Yeah, you can grab your sea chest.
I mean, that'd have most of my stuff in it. I'm okay with spending momentum for Ragnar to get, like, shield, armor, weapon. Does anybody else need something specific?
Well, I'll grab my. I have a spear that's carved with ornate runes that it was given to me by a rich guy, so I'm going to grab that. My second choice will be the toolkit that I use for like carpentry and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, well, I guess I need my weapon, so I'll take my Atlantean scimitar, and I guess if I can only take one other thing, it's going to have to be the field lab.
Okay.
Sucks to be that mule in the basement.
Well, just most of it, I think, can be stuffed into the lab to be gone. I mean, it's all got an encumbrance total.
I will grab my dagger, and it has sentimental value. And I presume I'm wearing everything else except my scimitar. Or, sorry, cutlass.
Me too. God bless cloth armor.
Yep. All right. So yeah, you guys get the boats into the water. The crew starts, throwing some water onto the one that's on fire. The other one seems to be taking on a little bit of water, not a lot, but a little bit. You guys grab your stuff and then jump into the water, making your way into the longboats.
Is there a roll for that?
There is not.
Thank God.
You just gracefully fall overboard.
Yeah, Carol will wait to make sure that everybody that's on this ship is off before he leaves. He's taken the role of captain now, so he's the last one to go.
Okay.
Did they kill the captain of the ship, or did they take him?
No, he's still with you guys. He is badly wounded.
What about the guy who betrayed us? Did we bring him along?
He was part of the crew, unless he was pretty much beaten unconscious. So if you guys just left him in the hold, then he was left in the hold.
Oh no, we're gonna bring him. He might know
Ragnar
something.
threw him over his shoulder.
All right.
Yeah, if we had to resort to cannibalism, he's the first one to go.
So yeah, so you guys, as you make your way onto the longboat, you can see that they definitely doused the Ebony Rose in a bunch of oil, and by the time you get the longboats, get your gear, get into the water, get into the longboat, it is just burning. There's like nothing left of the upper deck, and it's starting to burn down to the water line. And you can see the Devil's Shadow in the distance, moving away from you at a very fast pace.
Like
See, this is why I got into masonry and not shipbuilding.
Oh, this is going to be interesting when a certain sorcerer doesn't get his sacrifice.
Yeah, we've already screwed him. Can we tell which direction they're going?
You can give me a sailing roll.
Hey, I can do sailing.
Away from shore.
Me too.
And we're in Argos waters, right?
You are in the Western Ocean. It is not really any country's waters.
Okay, so no reroll.
What's the difficulty?
You're just kind of getting a bearing on the direction, so it's only difficulty 1.
That 17 rolled back over to a 3. I don't know if anybody saw that.
Right.
One success.
Alright, so both Clytius and Caro, you can tell that they are headed in a westerly direction. You don't know if it's because they've got an actual destination in mind or because that's the way the wind is blowing and they're significantly faster going with the wind. But they are heading west.
I'll start checking
okay.
to see who's wounded in the boats.
Alright,
Guys,
yep.
he's checking on the wounded. While he's doing that, I'm going to spend a momentum to know if they're heading west or if they're using the advantage of the wind. Can I do obtain information that way?
Yes, absolutely. So Rory, as you kind of make your way through the boats, and between the two boats you can fit everybody because each longboat holds like 12, and there's like 17 or so of you all together. There's like some scrapes here and there as people like went through that hole in the hold. The captain's got a pretty nasty looking crossbow wound in his shoulder. That's going to need to be taken care of so infection doesn't set in.
Okay.
That seems to be the only real injury per se.
The other guy's just come in stomped unconscious, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to want to make sure like put him in the recovery position and that sort of thing, but
Yep. Alright, I'll tend to the wound.
Yeah, is there a skill that we can tend to the wounded with?
healing.
What's that
Healing.
under?
I have it, it's under intelligence. I have it at 13.
I have it at 14.
Have it?
You do the captain. I'll do the trader.
Fair.
So one success, one failure. I don't know how that works.
You're just looking for a number of successes unless you roll a complication. And if you get more successes than what the difficulty was, you generate momentum, which can be used to buy extra dice, to obtain information. There's a chart in the journal tab and also on the Discord.
Okay.
All right. So, Caro, since you spent the for the obtain information, they're definitely taking advantage of the wind. But thinking about it, you know that Tortage is to the west, and Tortage is the major pirate city. It is, in terms of dens of scum and villainy, it is the scummiest and the villainousest.
It's party town.
It is without a doubt. If their goal is to, lay low for a bit or resupply or anything of that nature, Tortage to the west would be their probable destination.
And how far is that from here?
Days and days.
It's not getting any closer if we don't start rowing.
We don't have any food, so we have to get to shore first.
We weren't able to salvage any food from the ship at all.
No. I mean,
Make this line full.
you could have used momentum to grab food as gear, but
But we were stupid.
in the heat of things, nobody thought of it. Okay. All right. So you do know that they are much faster than you. They're under triple sail power compared to your rowing. Plus, they have supplies, and you guys don't.
Oh, we're not going to catch it, but at least we know where they're going.
Correct.
All right, gentlemen, this is how it's going to work. We're going to bring these two longboats together. We're going to head for the nearest shore, get some food, some supplies. And then we're going to chase down that son of a bitch, and I'm going to inviscerate him. Is that clear?
Sure.
You had me until the last two sentences.
I hope he trains. I want him at his strongest when we kill him.
All right. Let's get paddling.
So everybody kind of puts their back to an oar, starts rowing. Are you heading in a specific direction, or just kind of westerly?
The nearest shore westerly. Like we need food and water, right? So I know we're in deep water, so it's going to be a trek just to get to that, right?
4 years of philosophy, so I didn't have to do rowing, and now I'm rowing.
It'll be good for you. Don't worry. A few more days of this, you'll fit through the hole just nicely.
You're taking this awful personally.
We should have an idea, even if we can't see the shore, which way the shore is.
Follow the gulls.
Based on the course of the boat when we were sinking.
Just follow the gulls. The gulls have to land sometime.
Yeah.
Aye, well, have a night sky we can navigate with.
Yeah, you guys have a rough idea as to where you are. You know that that the shores of Argos are a week away to your east. You know that Tortage is 5-6 days away to the west, but that's under sail power.
Oh, we're well into the ocean.
You are well into the ocean.
Yeah, catch more tuna than trout here.
Yes.
Oh, crap.
Hey, Chris.
Yep.
Can I alchemically remove the salt from the water to make it drinkable?
You can certainly try. Normally, for acquiring survival supplies, it's normally survival. But in that case, I'll let you use alchemy instead.
Cool. Yeah, because the food is not a big deal, and we're probably on top of a fishing ground, so that's not a big deal. But man, we won't last a day or two without clean water.
I also have alchemy at 13, so I could probably do that.
Perfect. All right. So the way this is going to go is each day, barring any encounters or anything at sea, everybody gets to make a difficulty 2 survival check, or crafting test, or in the case of water, alchemy test. Success gets you enough to sustain one person. Every momentum that you get allows you to add another person's ration.
Okay, and again, how do I get momentum? Because my craft is 16.
Yep. So it's difficulty 2, but say you got 4 successes because you rolled really well, you would generate 2 momentum.
Alright, so I'll roll craft to try to get like clean water for everybody. Or at least me. Hey, I did it!
Are these waters familiar or unfamiliar?
They are. You're from Argos, right?
Yep.
They would be unfamiliar.
All right. My difficulty is reduced by 1.
Okay.
That's a nice roll. Oh my god.
3 successes.
Well, both of them are at my focus level because I have a focus of 3. So
What's the default difficulty?
For the survival check, the default difficulty is 2.
The only
Okay, so-
time that you're
Oh,
ever going to be happy to roll a 7 on 4d20.
Fuck me.
This game in Call of Cthulhu.
oh no, seriously, if you can see my rolls like in Torg and D&D, like this is great.
I'm just gonna keep rowing.
All right. So the first day, you guys do manage to grab some fish. Important question: are you guys taking care of PCs first and then NPCs?
I would think so.
Yeah, it's a cool, harsh world, so you gotta take care of yourselves, right?
In fact, I'm going to go so far to say that after it's been calm and we've had time to talk, that Caro's going to get the best of the NPCs in my boat and the worst of the NPCs in the other boat.
I say we eat that guy.
We're not eating anyone. Now hold on.
Are you being subtle about repositioning people, or are you like you're with me, you're over there?
He's command based, so he's not being subtle, but he's being in charge. He's like, you need to be here, you need to be there, you need to be there, you need to be here.
Alrighty.
So really nothing different than he did with the fire, you know? But just saying.
Yeah, he's just taking charge. I'm just leaving all the gimps on one boat.
Tony, you're really just playing yourself here, aren't you, in this game?
Sorry.
I don't think Ragnar rolled his survival check.
Oops. Here. And you said it was difficulty 2?
Difficulty 2.
Okie dokie.
That's a good roll.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You guys, the first day, you guys get enough food and water to sustain yourselves and 4 other people. Which is pretty much your boat.
Well, that's all we're obligated to do, right? Take care of our boat. Are we keeping the trader?
He's the only guy with any info on the sorcerer, so
That's what I was thinking too.
Okay. So you're bringing the ex-captain with you?
yeah.
Yeah, the ex-captain, the trader, and the PCs,
Okay.
and a couple extras if there's room.
Okay.
The most talented of them. Yeah.
Okay.
They should be making their own survival rolls.
They are doing what they can over in the other boat. They are probably not going to survive for terribly long, but they are doing what they can. It's just the fact that you guys have Rory kind of breaks out the alchemy kit and gets a very controlled flame, because you don't want an open flame on your longboat. But gets a very controlled flame going and can kind of basically desalinate the seawater with his knowledge of alchemy.
Nice.
And Tebian manages to put together, because you used crafting, right?
Yeah, I can do crafting.
Yeah. Well, that's what you used for your roll, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And my crafting's 16, so it's a pretty good roll.
Right. So he basically manages to take like some of the scraps of clothing and basically make a very, very crude fishing net, like very, very crude, but functional. So, meanwhile over in boat B, they're like, kind of leaning over the side of the ship, trying to catch fish with their bare hands, and using what little they can to collect rainwater from like when it rains periodically.
Yeah, basically we want all the PCs, the captain, the trader, and anybody that reminds me of Quint from Jaws on our boat.
Okay. Are you guys bringing Katrina with you, or is she in the other boat? That's the handmaiden to the.
Well, actually, we should bring her and whatever her entourage is, or at least the butler or something like that, because I mean that might be valuable later.
Yeah. Well, the pirates took Armenia.
Oh, we'll definitely take Katrina.
Okay. Alrighty. So you guys sail on, row on through the night, taking shifts periodically, so some of you can get some sleep, and it's oddly comforting for those of you that are used to the water to be in a boat. Even like a tiny boat in the middle of a vast, vast ocean, there's still something kind of comforting about it. You get up in the morning. Looks like there might be a storm on the horizon. The other boat. Well, let me roll for the other boat.
They got megged.
We just don't see them. They're not there anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah, they are off in the distance. They look like they are somehow in the night. They ended up basically straying from the course that had been set by a fair bit. But you also notice because there were two boats, right? There was the one that was on fire that was doused, and then there was the one that was taking on some water. That other boat is sitting fairly low in the water.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe we should go over and try to get some supplies.
I don't believe they have any supplies.
It's all right. Onward.
Pretty sure they have bacon, beans, rice, and rum.
All right. Day 2, everybody can give me their survival, alchemy, or crafting check for the day.
Sorry?
Survival, crafting, or alchemy to get your supplies for the day.
D1, right?
Difficulty 2. No, difficulty 1. You guys are getting used to what you need to do now.
Oh, in that case,
Still
I
one
would've
success.
In that case, I would have had 3.
I'll take it.
Does it add momentum to the thing when we roll, Chris? Or
It does.
we have to add that manually?
You have to add it manually, but in this case, momentum indicates that you are getting supplies for other people.
Oh, okay.
But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, 7 of them.
Considering the theme here, I'm thinking my next drink has to be Sailor Jerry's.
Whew, they rolled pretty good. So 4. So the second day, now that the crew realizes that they're not in danger of imminent death, They are starting to get back into the flow of things, especially with Caro there to direct them. The ex-captain is he's nursing his arm, but he's still pitching it. And towards the end of the second day, off in the distance, you see the very, very slight hump of land.
How's the maiden and the trader doing?
Well, you guys don't have the trader. Like, the guy that owns the ship is not on the ship.
Traitor.
Oh, the traitor.
Traitor.
Oh, traitor. Yes. He is more than eager to pitch in and do everything that is asked from him. And basically, like, every once in a while, you can hear him kind of muttering, it's like, it was, meant to be a good luck charm. I was dumb, talking to himself mainly because everybody else is kind of giving him as much of a cold shoulder as you can on a boat that's only about 30 feet long, with like a dozen people on it. But he is definitely more than pulling his weight. Katrina, you can tell she is not used to physical activity, but she is willing to learn.
Well, good for her.
So I'll keep an eye on Katrina, and anyone of the crew that starts to get a little bit too attentive will get a cuff.
Okay.
Ow.
You fat bastard, come on. Put your back into it.
All right. So yes, now that you have seen the little hump of an island, you definitely have like a point that you can make for.
Yeah, we'll go there.
Whoever is doing the navigating can give me a sailing test.
My sailing is terrible, so I'm gonna rely on the generosity of others.
I'm a decent sailor.
Mine's good in theory.
Claudius,
Apparently, I'm great at craft, alchemy, healing, linguistics, lore, and apparently warfare.
I'll assist you, Claudius.
All right.
And melee.
What's our difficulty?
Difficulty is only 1 because you've got an actual like point of reference.
Okay, for unfamiliar waters, that'd be 0 then.
That's reduced by 1. Yeah. For me too.
And I can't succeed for anything. Good.
Okay, but because you brought it down to difficulty 0, that is still a success, just nothing extra. And Caro does get to add his, which will generate you guys a momentum.
I never got one.
Oh, you didn't get one?
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So which talent is it that gives you the bonus there, Don?
Explorer.
Excellent.
Observation, sailing, and survival tests while in unfamiliar waters.
Awesome. So yeah, you kind of set sail, and you're kind of filled with that sense of curiosity and danger, sort of thing that kind of makes you want to explore. As you're like, yeah, and you're fairly certain that you can probably get there by nightfall, if everybody kind of like puts their backs into the rowing, sort of thing.
Yeah, get to it, girl.
I'm doing the best I can. I don't see you rowing. And she will ever so carefully try to splash you with the oar, but fail miserably because she has no idea really what she's doing. That brief moment when everybody's running in one direction and that one person hits the oar the wrong way and the boat kind of lurches ever so slightly.
All right.
I
Everybody
love it.
focus up. We have a destination that we could see. Let's just get us there. All right.
So you guys manage to row on, and as you get closer and closer to the island, you notice that there seems to be a very thick cloud bank around it.
Of course there is. Well, cloud bank or not, there's bound to be water there. Hopefully food.
Hopefully, bird.
That's a cool effect, Chris.
Yeah, actually, it really is.
Right. So you guys sail into the cloud bank, and it gets very, very thick, and the rains start to pick up. Apparently, I can't do both. And the wind starts to pick up, and you know, like, before you got within like a league of this island, it was sunny, it was pleasant, but as you start to get closer and closer to this island, the weather just takes like a nosedive for just a complete shitfest.
Captain, we're hosed.
We're fine. Mitra's with us. Just keep going straight. All right, Cook.
She may be with us, but King Kong's on the other end of that island.
All right, Cook. Just stop beating the drum. Give us a rhythm. We'll get us there. Let's go.
All right. So who is navigating and who is steering?
Which skill is which?
They are both sailing.
I'll navigate and Claudius. Anybody else good at sailing?
Not a bit.
I have a 7.
I am 1 point better than a 7.
So I'll navigate and Claudius will steer, I guess.
Okay.
Or drive.
Literally, Chris told us we're going to be on a boat, and none of us rolled sailors. Except for 2.
Difficulties 1.
No, the difficulty is 3 for each.
Damn.
Oh, wow. We're not going to make this. Spend a momentum there, Don. You got to reroll
Alright.
it, so you might be able to make it. Good time for a reroll.
Right. But so you figured out how to do rerolls, Don?
Hang on. There we go.
Much better.
All right. And how did we make on the navigation?
I failed, but he passed.
All right. So as you guys sail into this unnatural storm, the wind picks up. It kind of tosses you about here, there, and everywhere. Clytius basically manages to kind of hold the rudder, and his training as a sailor lets him know, like, this is when this is when you head into the wave. This is when this is when you want to, like, take it on the side. This is when you hold the rudder, so on and so forth. Carl, though, you've got no frame of reference for where you might be. And Clytius is they're quite correct. It's like, wherever you're going, you are going very, very fast. And then there's a combination of things that happen. There's like a sudden lurching of your of your boat, this horrifying screeching sound of wood against rock, a bunch of water. I mean, water's coming in anyway from the heavy rain and people are bailing. But now water is starting to pour in from underneath the boat. As you basically just kind of tore a large hole in the bottom of it. Thankfully, due to Clytius' ability as a sailor, he does, when this happens, in the flashes of lightning that happen, you can see the shoreline. And you know
we're going that way.
And you know, because you kind of like bottomed the boat, the water here is not terribly deep.
Right, pilot, drag her ashore, I think.
All right, guys, let's make this happen. It is ashore.
We're in an arc, aren't we?
Not quite.
So yeah, the intent's to get the boat ashore in whatever condition we can. It's the only boat we have, so fixing it's probably easier than making a new one.
Suddenly I'm useful.
All right. So you realize that as long as this storm is here, you're probably not going to be able to get the boat ashore unless somebody wants to give me a athletics check to basically muscle it in.
I'll do it if nobody else wants to.
I mean,
Athletics
Ragnar's
is
good, right?
I'm terrible at
Indeed.
this.
Athletics is something that I can do.
Right.
You want
Do you want to roll
and
and some of us can assist, maybe?
Sure. What's the difficulty I'm looking at?
Difficulty is 2.
Difficulty 2.
Difficulty goes down to 1 if somebody else is helping you.
If I can get
Okay,
some
good.
help, that'll
Yeah.
be greatly appreciated.
Do we need to roll to help, or
No, for this I'll say that you're just lowering the difficulty.
good enough?
Then everybody helps.
Success.
All right, so kind of like battered, beaten, exhausted, but dragging your longboat to shore. You guys managed to find yourself on a little beach, just as nightfall is starting to set in.
What do you think, Captain? Let's say we drag the boat over and prop it up on that rock. See if we can have some shelter.
Tebian, for the first time, who's actually going to be actually useful, is looking around for raw resources that he can actually make a shelter from.
You can give me... It would be a survival test to find things.
He's better at crafting than survival.
Yep, the crafting is the actual making, the survival is the finding.
D1?
Difficulty 2 because of the fog and the clouds and the darkness.
Well, finally I ate something.
All right, so as folks are basically dragging the boat up on shore, you look around and you find like some sturdy branches, some vines. Things
Tebian
like
makes a
that.
tiki bar.
And enough that you guys can get some shelter from the rain for the night. Give me a crafting roll.
Still D1 or D2?
This is just difficulty 1.
16 is my crafting, so I think I succeeded.
Yep. So, it takes like an hour or so, but before long, you've got a a sizable little like lean-to made with the bulk of the boat.
Yeah, a little rain catcher there, so we can drink unsalted water and the whole bit.
Yep, a little bit of a rain catcher set up. You guys can get a little bit of a fire going, get some warmth into you, and settle in to kind of wait out the storm overnight, probably.
What do you think of that, Captain?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. Any progress is good progress, right?
And as you guys settle in to wait out the storm, I think we'll take like a quick 5 or 10 minute bio break. And then we shall return now that you are on the island.
All right, be right back.
God help us all.
Okay, I'm back.
Same.
Back.
Welcome back.
All right. So the night passes uneventfully. In the morning, the storm seems to have abated some, moved on, and it's warm. Nice breeze coming off the water. Got your little hovel set up with your longboat as the base of an encampment of some sort. What's next?
I'm gonna check and make sure there's no dodos.
As you take a quick look around, there does not seem to be any dodos. There are numerous animal tracks in the sand, indicating that the island is inhabited by wildlife at the very least.
Reptilian, mammalian, bird.
Somebody can give me a survival check.
Smoke monster.
No smoke monster.
Skill 1.
Yes.
If I were to roll it, I make it a 0.
There you go.
Hey, good roll.
Alrighty. So as you guys kind of look around, there does seem to be a fair amount of plants that are easily identifiable as edible. Basically, there's a variety of different citrus fruits, papayas, mangoes, kiwi, things that are relatively tropical, as well as you do find that there's the waters, at least here on this beach that you're on, seem to be fairly teeming with a variety of small fish, of different mollusks, crustaceans, so on and so forth.
So we don't have to cook the crew.
So you do not have to cook the crew. As you're looking at the tracks, they look like they seem to be predominantly hoof prints, probably some sort of wild pig would be your guess. There are others, and if you want more information, you can spend momentum to ask questions about anything related to the survival role.
Unless any of those footprints are bigger than mine, I do not want to do that.
No, they look like pig-sized hoof prints.
Yeah, I'm fine with that then.
Is there a source of fresh water around here?
Not one that you readily spot. I mean, Tebian has set up a little bit of a rain collection barrel, and there's some fresh water from the heavy rains overnight. And you do know that that Rory is capable of desalinating water to some extent, but there's no readily potable water that you spot.
I bet
Yeah,
we'll
now
find
that
some
we're
if
on
we follow those tracks.
Now that we're on the island, I'm gonna start thinking about building a better desalination apparatus.
How are we all doing for weapons?
I have a great big ornate spear
I have my
and my
scimitar.
toolkit.
I've got my knife.
What about the rest of you lot? He indicates the rest of the crewmen.
They're basically down to knives.
All right, well, it's something. All right, well, let's see what we can do about drinking water, first and foremost. Crew, maybe we start making some spears. We have to go hunting some boars.
What do we see in the trees? Is it like coconuts, pineapples, or anything like that?
Yeah, there are some coconuts. There's a variety of edible nuts and fruits.
If we have coconuts. We have water. I mean, you can drink coconut water.
And also, as you're looking up in the trees, you do see a fair number of monkeys.
Goddamn monkeys.
Now we have protein.
Never met a monkey alike.
Try it with barbecue sauce. Little hoisin sauce is amazing.
So
I look
Carol's
over the
going
cook and
to-
says, "You know what I'm talking about, don't you?"
Oh, I've got more than one recipe for the monkeys. Don't you worry.
Carol get everyone directed into, shelter, food, water, all that kind of stuff, and we'll prep to do some exploration.
We got a Scottish cook. He's going to boil everything.
Oh, it's the only way to get the salt out of it, laddie.
Well, I can't choose to be too picky at the moment. So let's.
Yeah, so I'll work on the desalination device and maybe something so we can dry like fish and meat for jerky.
Okay.
Let's assume we're going to be here for a long time and prep for that, and then we'll just take a few cautious steps and do some careful exploration. All right.
Aye, sounds good, laddies. Get looking for some fresh water would be nice.
Yeah, my opinion is basically if you have enough skills, you don't have to work. You all carry rocks.
I'll scout ahead for whoever's going into the woods.
Tebian is thinking like, oh, there's a T-Rex here, right? There's a T-Rex. I know there's a T-Rex. This is the Isle of Dread all over again.
The Isle of Dread is a classic for a reason, but no. To the best of my knowledge, there are no dinosaurs in Conan.
Just really, really large snakes.
There's a few of those.
A couple krakens.
There's a kraken, yeah. Not here.
And Cthulhu.
There is some crossover between Lovecraft and Howard, yes.
I know there's Cthulhu.
Alrighty, so Tubby, you're going to start working on some some stuff around here. Some of the crew will pitch in to help. What are the rest of you doing?
I will lead an expedition into the woods to find water and/or food.
Yeah, fresh water would be great.
Yes, I will go with fighting.
I'll also try to work on if I have enough time, like a fish traps where the fish comes in and we just so hard for them to get out. We can just grab them if we want to.
Yep. So I survive in Conan Exiles.
Really? I've never played that.
Yeah, it's a Conan survival game. It's awesome.
I should buy that.
It's really good.
Yeah, especially with the expansions and the DLC and stuff that they put out. All right.
Is the previous captain conscious?
Yes, he is. Rory tended to his wound while you guys are on the ship, so he is not in danger of infection. His arm seems to be improved. Like, if he gets hit again, that wound will probably reopen until he has a chance to actually rest and recover, but...
How's the rich young girl doing, and does she like fat redheaded guys?
She is pitching in. You have the feeling that she comes from a background that, she's used to being an assistant. So as long as somebody instructs her as to what to do and how to do it, she is happy to do so.
Yeah, not my kind of rich I'm looking for then.
She is not rich. She is the assistant to the rich.
So, Captain Balka, you think you can handle things here while we go look for fresh water?
Yeah, I'll get them making some spears and giving Tebian a hand there with whatever he needs.
All right.
And pretty much immediately he's like, you two, you scout the beach for some like sharp rocks or shells. You find some sturdy sticks and some vines. You can tell he's got a little bit of experience in survival craft.
A good captain then.
Yeah, either that or he's been shipwrecked once or twice before.
Maybe a bad captain.
At least he's had a lot of practice at it, whatever it was.
All right, Ragnar, come along. Gonna need that arm of yours.
Lead the way.
All right. So the four of you are going looking for fresh water.
Which one's the wizard? One of the PCs is a sorcerer, right?
No, one of the PCs is an alchemist.
Okay, I'm okay at alchemist, so that's fine.
Nobody's a sorcerette. Sorcery in Conan is a dark and dangerous and sometimes difficult path.
Bad stuff.
Well, good luck to you.
Not a big fan of the alchemists, let alone the sorcerers.
I've read a lot of Robert E. Howard, and I've read a lot of Conan comic books. I've always understood that the fat guy, jolly fat guys who's competent is probably going to be okay. That's why I rolled this one.
Alrighty. So your little exploration party heads off. Which way are you heading?
Your show, Claudius.
Right. Follow the boar tracks, I would think.
I was thinking northeast, northwest, south ain't gonna work.
Right, is well, follow the boar tracks. I mean, it's a good idea because it'll either give us food or it'll give us water or both. Ah.
Oh, damn.
See, I'm going to do things the easy way. I'm just going to turn off the lighting on this map.
What part of the world are we in right now?
You guys are off the western shore in the Western Ocean. You are significantly off the coast of Argos.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about picks or anything like that, right?
No, no, no. The picks are on the mainland.
Yeah, quite south too.
Goddamn
Yeah.
pigs.
All right.
Why is the map blinking?
Anybody else seeing a really glitchy map? Like very flashy, just strobe light.
No, I just see the shoreline.
I don't even. The map just keeps flashing in and out on me and off to one
Yeah,
side.
that's what I'm seeing.
I see an island.
Works fine for me.
Huh.
Try hitting F5 to refresh.
Worked like a charm.
Yay, not flashy.
There you go. All right. So the four of you head off into the jungle, following the tracks. And these tracks are not subtle tracks. I mean, these are. It looks like a good sized herd of boar using this path with some regularity.
Interesting.
And along the way, you do see there are a number of tropical birds, brightly colored plumage in the trees. Every once in a while, the shrieking of the howler monkeys, which indicates exactly how they got their name. But everything seems to. The monkeys seem to flee from your presence. The birds, when they get startled, take to the air. Like everything is behaving the way that you would expect it to. To Rory's trained eye, as you make your way around, there are not only are there like mango-like fruits and kiwi-like fruits, but there's also some wild onions growing and wild carrots or carrot-like tubers. This island is definitely bountiful when it comes to food.
I'll make sure to grab little bits and pieces here and there as I find seasonings, after all.
And those of you that are on the excavation party can give me an observation check, difficulty of 1.
I get 1 success, and I have 1 momentum to spend on observing things. Because Scout.
Telling you, with these dice, man, I've never been more in my element.
Yeah, you just need to stick with games where you have to roll low.
Yeah, stay away from D&D.
I always thought that if you roll a 20 in Call of Cthulhu, you're fucked. And I think that's amazing.
Alrighty. So as you guys make your way through the jungle path, you guys spot every once in a while like flat, smooth stones, partially covered over by like tree detritus and roots and stuff. And then once you're like, oh, a flat stone, that's odd. But then there's another one. Then little ways away, another one. And Clyteus, you get a free momentum to spend on obtain information as a trained scout.
Right. Well, my first one would be: is there any sign of clean water nearby?
No, not yet. But you're still following the pig trail.
These flat stones. Oi! Are they, they look like they might be made like that, huh?
Not sure. Um, you with the spear, you're spotting stuff. What do you make of this?
He is back at the camp.
Hey, you with this.
Well, if we're interested in that, we could probably pry one up and have a look at it.
Yeah, I'm going to examine one of the flat rocks.
So you do you pry one of these stones up, and it is very flat and obviously tooled.
Alright, lads, we're not alone on this island.
That'd make it too easy. Maybe they have a ship.
Aye, maybe they do.
Is there anything on the stone, or?
If you want to spend a momentum, you can ask additional questions.
Sure.
Was it made by modern tools, quote unquote modern tools, or primitive tools? Maybe is that a good question?
I was just gonna look and see if there was writing on it, or symbols, or
yeah.
something.
There is no writing or symbols on it.
Okay.
Alright, let's have a wee bit of a look at these. How many of these rocks are around here?
Right. So yeah, as you start to backtrack a little bit and then go forward a little bit, there's maybe like a half dozen or so, kind of like irregularly spread. But give me a observation check.
Everybody, or what?
Rory, since he's the one deliberately like looking for this sort of thing. So yeah, there's about a half dozen or so, and as you kind of like walk from one to the other, they're not scattered about haphazardly. They are lined up to some degree.
Aye, I'm thinking these are grave markers.
Grave markers. How do you mean?
I suspect if we dig down, we'd find a body. That kind of grave marker.
Well, that's a good way to irritate the local inhabitants, don't you think?
Aye, it is. I think it's possible that we're perhaps traipsing over sacred ground.
Best to press on then.
Well, let's do our best not to disturb anything. We still need fresh water.
Aye.
All right.
Follow the big path.
I will be half a
That is terrible advice.
I'll be half a second here. I apparently forgot to upload a mapping. Alright, so as you continue to follow this this game trail, it does start to branch off here and there, obviously as the pigs have gone their separate ways. But eventually it comes to open around a what looks like a small inland like a large pond. Not quite a lagoon because it's not fed by the ocean, but a pond of some nature, probably fed by underground springs.
Nice.
This
Sounds
seems to be
ideal.
exactly what we're looking for.
What's
Is there a check to be made to assert its potability?
Just give me half a second here.
Well, Claudius, we've been into a scrape or two in our time together. But in the scheme of things, you know, there's food, there's water. We have something of a boat. It's been worse.
It's been worse.
Alrighty. So yes, you come across this this lovely little spring-fed pond, and you do see the plant life around it seems to be fairly lush. You do see some fruit trees, some mushrooms growing. And this is where the trail leads to. So very obviously the pigs and some of the other local wildlife do come here to drink.
That's good enough for me.
No sign of any dead animals around it, is there?
Make an observation check. You don't see any dead animals around, but you do see what looks like drag marks kind of around the pond.
Like into the pond or out of the pond?
Like into the pond.
Well, lads, careful. Looks like something might be dragging things into the water.
Sarcos.
All right, gentlemen, if we're going to survive here for any length of time, we need to get access to this water. So just take it slow, keep our eyes peeled, see what's going on.
Aye, it is.
Okay. Alright. So you guys are moving forward towards the pond?
Yeah.
Slowly and warily.
Slowly and warily.
I'm expecting just a medium-sized crocodilian to just launch itself out of the water and grab one of us, Capro style.
So everybody can give me observation checks.
Does that include me because I'm on the shore?
No. You are safe from this.
So that's what I like to hear.
What's the difficulty?
It's actually considered a struggle, so it's difficulty 1 minus difficulty 1. Whoever generates the most momentum succeeds.
A few twos there.
Alrighty. Alright. So I sadly did not succeed. So my bonus momentum isn't going to help. But as you guys kind of approach,
There's the circos. Oh shit.
Alrighty. So yes, as you guys start to approach the water, you do see kind of like lumbering out of the jungle and out of the pond itself. You do see 4 crocodiles.
Lovely.
So the way initiative works in this game is heroes go first, then the villains go. But I can spend Doom to have my villains interrupt.
I see one crocodile.
I see 4.
I see 4.
Yeah, 4.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, so you guys are up. The 2 that come like lumbering out of the jungle are very kind of like slow. Their crocodiles on land are only fast over very short distances. So they're just kind of like bringing them, calling out, and they're not overly large for a crocodile. It's not like they're giant crocodiles or anything of that nature.
Oh, just normal crocodiles.
Just normal crocodiles.
Well, I'll go first.
It's only a bit larger than the average alligator I saw in Florida. Yeah, that sucks.
Yep.
So I will. Caro's had enough of this nonsense, so he's just gonna raise this sea chest that he's been carrying around over the top of his head, take a step forward, and just primally scream at these beasts, saying that he is sick and tired of losing his ship. He's sick of this, and he'll pry the fucking skin off every one of these things if he has to. And I'll use Heed My Words, which is command attack with 4d mental damage.
Okay.
Basically trying to intimidate them to run away.
Yep. So unless it has area, it only affects one of them.
It has area and stun.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a pretty big talent.
Damn.
So that would be command, right?
Yes.
And we have a momentum, so I'll spend 1.
Yep, there are 5 momentum.
Just to let you know, I've got about 3 recipes for crocodile.
I knew I liked you the moment I saw you.
So that's 2 successes.
Okay. What's the
So
range?
it's range is close.
Okay.
4d. I assume they're all close.
Yep.
4 CD mental damage, area and stun.
Perfect.
So rolling damage, I just do d6s.
Yeah, I'll go through it later and I'll actually add it in as an attack for you. But
Yeah, I tried. I couldn't figure it out. And then I get a +3 because my personality is so high, right?
yep.
Oof.
It's a lot of D6s.
That's a pretty good roll, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 effects.
Okay. So the way area works in Conan is you hit your target, and then 1 additional target within close range for every effect that you hit.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage, and 4 effects is enough to affect all of them.
Yes. Oh, they don't have any courage. All right, so Cairo basically holds his sea chest up above his head and basically yells out this cursive stream of language at these crocodiles, who seem momentarily kind of taken aback, like they don't know what to make of this meal sort of thing. So yes, so they will be. Well, actually, what? Oh, you rolled a shitload of effects, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so they will be momentarily stunned. The rest of you, what would you like to do?
What do I have to do to get the Unforgiving to trigger on my weapon? I think I have to make an observation check for one turn.
Yep, you have to exploit first.
I will do that.
Okay, that is a difficulty 1 observation check.
Got it.
Okay, so yeah, so you're kind of looking at these crocodiles, sizing them up, trying to figure out where the best point to place your knife would be. And you figure kind of like underneath the arm. It's gonna be tough to get it in there, but you're like that would be the spot. Right, Ragnar and Rory.
So Ragnar never actually grabbed his weapon from the ship. So he just has a shield. Looking around, can I see like maybe a stick that could be used as a club?
Yes, you certainly can. You can spend a fortune point if you want to just say like, I find a sharp thing that I can use as a spear.
I like that instead. Okay. So a fortune point. Where do I find fortune points?
They're on the general sheet.
On the general sheet. There. Alright, and I'd like to form up pretty much like here, and I'd like to just be ready in like a defensive position to fend off an attack.
Okay.
And let out a vicious Nordheim battle cry.
Okay. Rory, what would you like to do?
Well, since they're all stunned, I'm gonna walk up to one and stick it with my scimitar.
Well done, sir.
Alright, let's roll a little attack action here. Well, that didn't go so well.
I mean, that's really the first roll that hasn't gone your way since we started, so.
Oh, no. I got an 18 and a 19 there, one pack.
All right. Okay, so they kind of like shake their heads now that people are taking up aggressive stances towards them, and they will kind of like claw at the beach with their things and swish their tails and otherwise get over their stun.
I mean, that's my one trick, guys. So
Oh, shit.
I
Sorry,
see.
guys.
Aye, aye, Captain.
But back around to the top.
Well, since I seem to be in stabby range and bitey range of this one, I'll just go first and stab at it again.
Okay.
So, can I steal a momentum to get an extra dice roll?
Go for it.
Yeah, there's 4 in the pool. For those of you that have experience with Star Trek or Fallout, D20s in this are 1 for 1 momentum, not the escalating cost.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Alright, so I'll steal one of our 4. Do I just adjust the 4 down, or does Chris do?
It should do it automatically when you bring up your attack. It should say spend momentum, put in the number of momentum. It should do everything automatically.
Oh, okay.
Back again.
Alrighty, so you bring your scimitar across the crocodile. That is definitely a hit. You can roll some damage.
That was odd.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
That is probably...
I pressed the damage button and that's what it gave me.
Yep, so it rolled the 4 damage. But yeah, the weird symbols are... if you go to settings, which is the furthest icon over.
Yep.
And then configure settings.
Yep.
And then module settings. Should see one
Yep.
for dice so nice.
Yep, so my dice setting.
Yep, and then the dice presets, set it to Conan 2d20. And then save, and that should give you proper dice rolling.
Black or white, or doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter really. But as it is, you swing your scimitar
Where do you see dice presets?
under should be one of the settings under my dice. All right, but it glances off of the crocodile's scaly hide.
Okay.
The rest of you, what would you like to do? You see Rory is toe to toe with this crocodile who has now basically regained its senses, and looks like it may try to bite him.
Yeah, he's kind of owning me on this one.
That's all right. Captain's here to help.
Just looking around to see if I can find something that can pass for grain so we can make bread.
Not here on the beach, but if you make a journey into the jungles, you never know what you might find.
So Captain's going to move over to this mushroom patch, cursing up a storm, and he's just going to grab handfuls of these mushrooms and start throwing it at this crocodile, try to drive it away. He's trying to use that display, the steely eye display,
Okay.
which is a command roll, I think. I'll re-roll the 19 because I'm a captain. Two successes.
All right, so that will generate you 1 momentum.
And that does 2 base, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. 2 effects, which is stun.
So it will be stunned again, but basically it just takes off into the brush, not knowing what to make of this display.
That's Ragu's salad, right?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms? I don't eat mushrooms. All right.
Mushrooms.
Ragnar and Clytius.
Alright, I've got my sneak attack good to go, so I'm gonna roll up on this one over here. And make the stabbings happen.
Okay. It is difficulty 2. Because its jaws have reach.
You have moment?
Hey, I'll spend one, yeah. One should give me 2. I don't know if that fixes it in the.
It won't take that into account, I don't think.
I don't know how to do another dice then.
Just do /R120, or yeah, /R space 1d20.
Oof.
Ah, good. More complications.
Alrighty. Well, the good news is that you do hit and you generate a momentum. So
Okay.
you can roll your damage for your knife with your what's the guy? It's got piercing, vicious, and intense, I believe. Actually, piercing too.
Oh, I see.
Nice.
All right, so that is going to, because it gets vicious from the exploit, so that's going to be 6 damage and pierce 2, so it's going to ignore 6 of its armor. So yeah, so you basically drive this this knife up underneath the shoulder, I'm going to say, of the crocodile, deep in, and you hear it pierces the heart, and as the crocodile goes into its basically its death spiral, with its last breath, it basically wrenches the knife out of your hand, because you rolled 2 complications. And as it spins, it basically snaps the hilt on the ground as it dies. So the hilt is outside and the blade is like deep in its body, but it is dead.
Is the knife broken, or?
Yeah, the knife, like the hilt is laying there on the ground and the blade is someplace inside the gator itself.
Sadness.
Is it destroyed?
It could be repaired if you can get the blade part out of it.
Alright, I'll work on that later.
That leaves us with Ragnar.
Alright. So, Ragnar, learning very early in his life that there is no such thing as a clean or a fair fight, is going to just come over here with that new pointy stick, the spear of his, and is just gonna try and jab this fucker's eyes out.
By the by, if you use your attack via the belongings menu, it'll let you add your talent dice.
Cool. I don't have a spear in my belongings.
Maybe Chris will add you one.
Hey, Chris.
Yep.
Hey.
There you go.
Thank you.
So yeah, for Tony, I'll have to do up your presence attack as a weapon, and it should be able to do everything for you that way.
No worries.
What is my difficulty?
What's with the spear? What does it say for reach?
Let's find it. Reach 3.
All right, so your difficulty is only 1. Basically, reach and guard is basically because the reason Don's attack was higher is because he's using a dagger and he's trying to avoid the chomping bitty parts. But if you've got a longer weapon, then there's no increase in the difficulty. But if the crocodile gets inside the reach of your spear, it's going to be bad for you.
Okay. One moment. All right. So just difficulty 1 then.
Yep. Alright, that will get you a momentum and a hit, and under the journal tab there's a list of momentum spends for combat, because there's quite a few that you can pierce, you can hit other people, you can do extra damage.
Okay.
So like if you spend that 1 momentum, then you can ignore the 2 points of the alligator or the crocodile's armor.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's up there. I'm also looking at some of my talents. Does it already have Vicious on it?
It does not.
What does Vicious do again?
If you roll an effect, so if you roll a 5 or a 6, it's 1 more damage for each 5 or 6 that you roll.
Okay. I'm just going to spend it to ignore that armor of it.
Okay.
And so just damage now?
Yep.
Do I add anything here or just roll damage?
It should automatically take into account your bonus damage, so you should be...
Okay. Oops. Breaking things.
Alrighty.
It's not bad.
4 damage. Right. It is still in this fight, though. And because of the fact that your spear is an improvised weapon, i.e. it's fragile, so it breaks when it hits. Like, you jab this thing into its eye, blinding it momentarily at the very least, but the spear gives under the force. Actually, no.
All right.
No, you spent a fortune point for it. I feel, yeah, you can have it for longer. If it was just a stick that you picked up, I'd break it, but you spent a fortune point, so.
Okie dokie.
Perfect. Alright.
If this makeshift spear works well enough for me, I might even name it.
Oof.
Alright, so it comes up. I've got Doom to spend, so I may as well use it. So yeah, so it comes up and it clamps on with its snapping jaws.
Ouch.
So basically it latches onto your torso for 4 damage.
Okay.
Do you have armor there?
On the torso, let's find out.
If you have your shield, you can also designate your shield to, what is it, 3 locations, Chris?
Yes.
Where do I find? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
I have 2 armor on the torso.
Okay.
But you said I could add add the shield there.
Yep. The shield is basically, it works like cover dice.
Okay. Yeah, I'll add the shield. I'll put my shield in the way.
So yeah, so if you click on the shield, well, actually, you do have an option. You could parry this attack as well because you have a shield.
I totally do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
So the way parrying works is your first reaction adds 1 to my doom pile, the second one adds 2, the third one adds 3. But because the shield has the parrying quality, that it reduces the doom cost by 1. So your first parry with the shield is free.
I also have the deflection talent.
Yep. So your first 2 would be free.
Alright, yeah, let's do that. So do I... What do I click here? Do I do anything, or does it just happen?
Roll a parry.
Difficulty?
Difficulty's only 1.
Okay.
Alright,
That's a good parry.
so it does still hit. It just doesn't generate any dooms. I rolled phenomenally well.
Okie dokie.
I got 4 successes. So
Yeah.
you got. Oh wait. With your parry, you got 2 successes on your parry plus 1. So no, it misses actually. So as it comes to clamp, you get the shield up and basically keep it at bay.
I like to think that I backhand it with the shield.
Just this is the reason to have like a spear and shield is because you have a spear, its difficulty to attack you is 2, and then your 2 successes on your parry bring that difficulty up to a 4.
Ooh.
So, right. And the other crocodile is going to come in and it is going to try to attack Rory. Since Rory is there.
You.
What's the reach on the scimitar? Probably 2.
Yeah, it's reach 2.
Okay. So yeah, so it just barely manages to hit you.
So can I parry?
Yes. Yep, scimitars have the parrying quality as well, so free charge.
Yay. So that's a parry skill roll?
Yep. So yeah, so you try to get the scimitar down, but not in time, and it basically grazes across your left leg for 4 points of damage.
Yay, not a wound.
Not a wound. I didn't roll any effects, so there's no grapple. Back around to you guys.
Go get him, fighter types.
I'd like to stab back at my attacker.
Okay.
I will extricate the pieces of my knife.
Okay. You can make a let's call this a survival check, since you're basically trying to it's just like butchering an animal. Alrighty. So as you guys are fighting these crocodiles, you see Cletus has basically killed one, and then he like just plunges his hand into the wound and kind of roots around for a second and pulls out his the blade of his knife and aha!
Jeebus.
Nice.
And also
You get a guy that can fix that for you.
Knife has sentimental value.
Makes sense to me. So,
My hand has sentimental value.
so I'm
Well,
gonna
the
try.
bitey end's already dead.
I'm gonna try and take the other eye out.
Okay.
Still D1.
Yep. That's a hit.
Cool. Take that. Oh, what?
Oh, I was gonna say it doesn't actually hit the eye, although you can spend momentum for called attacks. But
Okay.
did you want to spend any momentum to activate anything, or?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that. Just smack that other eye.
Okay. Okay. So this crocodile is now just kind of thrashing around blindly. That will increase its difficulty to try to bite you.
Good.
Rory and Karo.
Go get him, Rory.
Alright, I'll stab at him with the Schmitter. I'm going to use 1 momentum to give me bonus dice.
Okay. You do hit, so, but you do generate a complication. The way complications work is I can either make things more complicated for you, or I can gain doom, but they do not negate a successful roll. So you can roll your damage on the Crocodile. So you can spend 1 momentum's left if you would like to pierce its armor, otherwise it is just going to glance off.
Oh yeah, when you get out of this, the momentum goes away, doesn't it?
Momentum goes away, you lose 1 momentum at the end of the turn, yes.
Yeah, so I'll spend that one then.
All right, so you slam your scimitar down into the left foreleg of this crocodile, and as it like moves to snap at you and moves out of the way, it kind of wrenches the scimitar out of your hand. It's right there on the ground. You can use a minor action to pick it up, but it's wrenched free of your hand.
Can I use a minor action at the end of my swing turn?
You can, yes.
In that case, I will make sure I have my Smitter back.
And that will bring us to Karo.
All right. Well, I'm going to move up to this thing, and in a fit of rage, an oncoming storm. I'm not trying to hurt this thing because I can't fight worth a shit, but I'm going to batter it with my chest and kick it in the face and try to drive it off.
Okay.
And that would be Steely Glare, I guess.
Yep.
We have no momentum. Okay.
Nope.
Well,
Alrighty. Roll your damage for your threatened.
and I could use momentum for damage in this game, right?
You can. It adds +1 damage, not +1 die.
+1 damage. Actually, I do pretty good here, so 2 is 5.
Right?
1, 2, 3.
So that one will start to skitter off. Rory, you do have the opportunity, if you wish, to do a retaliate as a reaction. It'll cost you a doom, but you can get a swing at it as it goes to leave, or you can just let it fart off.
It'll cost me a what?
It will add 1 to my doom pile.
No, no thanks. I'm content to let it run away.
Alright. So Carl basically kind of puffs himself up like a hissing cat, kind of kicks at it with his foot, and it does manage to drive it back, leaving just the one poor blinded one. May as well spend some doom. This other crocodile is basically just kind of like lashing around blindly, blood streaming from its eye holes, but does not find purchase anywhere on Ragnar.
So
Ball
steak
is-
tonight?
Big crocodile tonight.
You guys can very easily finish off this one last crocodile.
As it has been systematically dismantled.
Yes.
Hit him a wristwatch and let it go.
As you guys look around, you've got a couple of dead crocodiles that you can definitely get some food from, and perhaps some stuff for armor or weapons. The water here is potable. It is definitely fed from some sort of underground stream.
Well, Ragnar, I have to say that was quite spectacular.
Always pleased to put on a good show. The rest of you did lovely as well.
Well, for a stowaway,
Nice.
you've impressed me a great deal. I'm honored to count you among my crew.
Just nods, and then he kind of holds his makeshift spear. He goes, "I will name you Eye Gouger."
All right.
I began stripping the crocodiles for meat and other things.
Perfect. And I'll get Tebian can give me a craft roll while this is all going on in the jungle, to work on some things. The easiest thing for you to get would probably be like a cooking pit, and a drying rack would probably be the two easiest things. Especially since the rest of the group went out to find potable water, so the desalination station isn't as high a priority.
All right, give me a second because I have to reload my screen every few minutes or it doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I have that issue too.
Well, God damn us for using Max.
Mm. Mine's just a out-of-date browser that can't be upgraded because the computer itself won't support the upgrade. It's a almost 9-year-old laptop, so
Well, I'm amazed it's still alive.
yeah, it's done pretty well for itself.
Actually, my friend Vicky can still play World of Warcraft, and her Mac is still 9 years old. So they keep.
Nice. I mean, on a good day, I can play Total War Warhammer 2 on this thing.
Really?
Yeah, and that says a lot about it. That game is demanding.
Oh yeah, I play a lot.
All right. Well, while Trevor reboots here, as you guys are kind of searching the, basically checking the water, skinning the crocodiles. Crocodiles are a big animal. There's a fair bit of meat on these, and probably enough skinning that once it's tanned, you can get some semblance of armor off it. But while this is happening, you guys notice a couple of the howler monkeys that you've seen, just kind of jumping from tree to tree, and you don't really pay much attention to them. They're like, yeah.
No, I'm totally sucking up the howler monkeys.
Yeah.
Like, if I get a piece of fruit, I'm tossing it to the howler monkeys. I'm trying to make friends with the howler monkeys.
Monkey sympathizer.
No. They're the alpha predator on this island. I'm trying to make friends. There's no wolves here.
But yes, the group out at the lagoon, you guys notice that one of the howler monkeys that goes from tree to tree to tree is a little bit larger than the other ones. And you're like, okay, it's a bigger howler monkey, maybe, 3 feet and then a tail. But what you notice, what kind of really draws your attention, is that it has an extra arm.
Mutant.
Mitra.
And it
Something.
stops momentarily and it looks directly at you. And you're not positive, but you think it smiles before scampering back off into the trees.
Something is not right with this island.
I will wink at it for sure. Tony, it's not loading for me very well. So if whatever dice you want me to roll, I'll get Tony to roll it.
Okay, it would be a crafting roll, and then there is 2 momentum in the pool if you want them.
I would like to use this time to scrounge up a club.
Okay, yeah, you can definitely scrounge up a sturdy piece of wood.
Well done, Tony.
It's a good roll.
So by the time you guys have...
Yeah, I am totally trying to make friends with that crazy monkey.
yeah, the crazy mutant monkey has run back off into the jungle.
Yeah, like anytime I see that crazy meat monkey, I'm tossing like a piece of my food, like whatever it's gonna be. It's like I'm sucking up to the crazy mutant monkey.
Okay.
I've seen Planet of the Apes. I know where this is going.
Alrighty. So the expedition party comes back with a fair amount of crocodile meat, a spear, club.
Anybody
teeth.
wounded?
No. And the little bit of scratch there that Rory took it's basically just a scratch, a little bit of like 5-10 minutes. Wash it out with some water while you're getting a drink, that sort of thing. Vigor recovers pretty quickly out of combat.
Damn, Roy, you're a badass.
Just a flesh wound.
Hey Chris, would I have been able to find just the biggest croc tooth out of the ones we killed? Just
yes.
Symbolically, I want to see if I can make that the new spearhead.
Perfect. All right. Yes, not a problem. You can definitely find a sizable or a claw or a tooth, something that you can definitely
Yeah.
use.
Just something
Barbarians.
from the kill.
I'm stranded with barbarians.
But as you guys now have a source of water on the island, and the realization that there may be something on the island affecting the local wildlife, I think we will call it there.
Yeah, it's probably something in the water.
Alright.
Might be something in the water, maybe. But everybody gets, we'll say 150 XP.
Nice.
You track that on your character sheet. And then you use XP to increase your skills, increase your stats, buy new talents, etc., etc.
That was the easiest session I've ever had. All I had to do was sit in the corner and make stuff.
But yeah,
I'm not even complaining. I was very happy about it.
Yay, playing support.
so, having a fun support character can be a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, 100%.
Tony's got the bird.
Tony's got the bird.
Well, I like the fact that the 2D20 systems actually make it so your social characters can actually do things.
Yeah, I scared off a couple crocodiles. That's not bad for a guy that can't swing for shit.
And I like some of the options, like when Don did the exploit option. Anybody who can do an exploit, it gives your next attack piercing 2 automatically.
Wow.
But then if your weapon has unforgiving on it, it also gains vicious and intense. So vicious does more damage, and intense means if you inflict a wound, you inflict a second wound.
So probably
We
for
are
a
the
sneak attack
unforgiven.
is a big deal.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you-
Tony, you should probably look at my character sheet and see if I can do any of that shit. 'Cause if it's left up to me, I'm in a situation like this. I'm gonna stay by the shore and cook.
You're doing fine.
I've
I'm
got
doing
both
fine.
I've got both of my dagger pieces, Chris. Do they come back together at the end of the session?
Not at the end of the session, but you can hand them off to one of your crafty people who can basically grab some vines and to kind of repair it to some extent. Ideally, it needs to be reforged, but they can make it. They can make do.
All right. Well, I managed to add a club to my sheet.
Perfect.
As a Robert D. Howard fan, we're stranded on an island. I'm pretty sure there's like an underground lost race and like demons that are gonna fuck us all up here eventually.
It's one thing you can count on whenever you're in an unspoiled landscape. There's always something older and evil.
Yeah, any unspoiled landscape in the Robert D. Howard story is basically it's only unspoiled because we haven't been there for 400 years.
Let's
By
worry
chance-
about the three-armed monkey first, right?
No, I am totally working with that. It's like I'm making friends with that 3-armed monkey.
I'd like to have my cutlass back, but I guess a club will have to do.
Let's all make friends with the 3-armed monkey.
Not a fucking chance, pal.
You know, the way I saw it, my shield had more sentimental value than my broadsword did, so the shield came with me.
Your shield is a weapon. Don't forget.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
attack.
yeah.
You can attack with a shield.
Hell yeah, I'll just be a shield warrior.
As someone who has bashed the shit out of someone with a shield before, it totally works.
All right.
Well, the thing with the shield is shields have knockdown, so if you roll any effects, you can knock your opponent prone.
I'm pretty sure there's a talent that you could take where you could attack with your shield as an offhand attack and not lose your shield bonus.
Yep.
Ooh.
So I've seen it done. I did it in a game I played where basically knock down with the shield and then spend the momentum to get a second attack and then bring the shield down on their face because difficulty drops by 1 when somebody's prone.
So, theoretically, would I be able to just wield 2 shields? Oh.
No, you cannot. Nice try. Alrighty, I gotta go and get some supper.
I'm going to punch you with this shield while I defend myself with this one.
One strapped to your back just in case.
Yes, in case I get shot in the back, it's there.
Alrighty.
All
I
right.
think, I think you have to be a
Thanks for the
fire
game.
giant to make that work.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, we will see everybody next time. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for hanging out. I